So you might recall a few episodes back, we talked a little bit about the fish guy trying to expand his horizons, being entrepreneurial and creating a website. And every day I usually tend to check the traffic to the website to get an idea as to how it's doing. And this last Monday morning I noticed that instead of the normal 400 to 500 visitors a day, we were down in the 100s and very low for the beginning of the day, and this kind of tipped me off. And so I began to look into what might be the reason for the significant decrease, and as it turns out, I was finding that there were no results coming from Google, and Google is worth probably 90% of my referrals. And so this explained why the traffic might be down. I was only getting Earthlink and Yahoo and MSN type referrals, but no Google. And so I went to the search engines and I punched in fish tank, which is the typical term that I would use. And as I came up on the list here, number 3, as soon as we clicked on that, it became very apparent right away why we were not getting any traffic. And that is, Google has put up some type of a warning. Well, obviously people aren't going to continue past the warning for fear of getting something on their computer, and that's what this warning seems to indicate. So that explained why we had such a decrease in traffic. Now the real question was, why was Google setting up this warning to potential visitors? So we began to look into the Google tools or webmaster tools, and lo and behold, they seem to have had problems with a whole series of different pages on the website. And this is bizarre because this website's been built and in process for at least the last 3 if not 4 years. Why all of a sudden is there a problem? Well, we started doing some investigation. Turns out, as the web guy was looking through the code and script that they used to build the website, there was this little tiny JavaScript in there, which essentially is a command of some sorts. And we began to look a little bit further, and apparently they were able to, through the product review section of the website, slip this little JavaScript code or command in to the website, which essentially ended up in the database for the website and began to, on its own, modifying the product descriptions of the products I had in there. And turns out it had modified 76 different files, and it was modifying them so that it was promoting some type of medication. So for whatever reason, the hacker was able to gain entry into the website, but for whatever reason, he wasn't able to complete the task. What had happened was his little scheme was beginning to work. We haven't figured out that once after it worked, how it would redirect the potential interested party in that medicine to a place where he could in turn make the sale. So there's something that fell apart in his scheme, but at the same time, not only has he penetrated my website, but he's created an issue within Google that I'm down at least 75% in my referrals and web traffic. So obviously that's costing me money. So here's to you, you little website hacker. So one of the first things we did was go through and delete all those files. Unfortunately, Google, which spiders your website or sends what they call a little robot across your website, which is what gathers all that information, has not updated the website yet, and such has not removed the warning. And so this is going on day number 3 that I'm aware of. that were not getting any traffic because of this issue. So that's the biggest frustration, but the reality is that this hacker was able to penetrate the website to the point where I wasn't aware of it. There was no visual or obvious version as to what or if there was a problem, and the web server was not aware of it at all. And he had supposedly run a virus report the other day, but the reality is it's not a virus, so they didn't catch it. So now what we need to do is remove those files, which is only the product description portion, but I still have to take the time to go through and fill in the product description for 76 different products. So there's still a lot of work on my part, all because some little prick hacker decided he was going to try to reroute traffic off my website. And the silly part about all of this is all the intelligence, if that's what you want to call it, that this hacker put into gaining entrance to the website and creating a code that could unravel itself within the website and begin to modify stuff. If you look real close at the way that they've written the stuff, they're either not of this country or they simply don't know how to write, because the guy doesn't know how to write. I mean, it's some of the stupidest construction of sentences I've ever heard. So it just amazes me, for all the time, energy, and technology that these hackers put in, they're still lacking in an area that even once they accomplish what they want to accomplish, potential buyers are going to look at it and just think to themselves, why do I want to buy from this guy? He doesn't know how to spell, he doesn't know how to talk, he doesn't know how to write. So anyhow, that's part of being in business, in the fish business, regardless of whether you're scrubbing tanks, selling fish food, or selling products on the internet. You still, the business of doing business is a lot of business, and that's not always in the positive sense. So let's get to work getting that website fixed, get it back online, because coming up into the Christmas season, even with a crummy economy, we'd like to have our website working.